welcome back to another Cluno Gaming episode of Satisfactory. Today I will be showing you the coal finally flowing into the circular coal generators, which took quite a bit of work, but I finally have them done. I still need to work on the bridge. As you can see there, that is a good view of the coal generators. Also in this episode I'm going to do a quick base tour, as well as thank everybody for helping me get to 100 subscribers. I didn't think I would ever get to this point, but I just did, which is absolutely phenomenal. I thank every single one of you guys and gals. It's phenomenal. My next goal is to see if I can get to 500. So if you guys know anyone that would like these types of videos, please feel free to share them to any of those people. And hopefully I can gain them as subscribers as well. That would be awesome. But jumping back into the video, you can see there I just showed you one of the coal lines as well as the water hookup for the coal generators. And there's the other side, which I left room off the back end here where if I want to do another set of coal generators, I can actually pipe these lines of coal right over these water lines here in the middle and basically copy this entire thing facing out on the left side there, right there in the middle. It'll kind of be another set of circular coal generators right behind it, which will look pretty awesome. It should give it a total of over 8,000 megawatts of power. I can't do the math right off the top of my head at the moment. And did anyone notice the vanishing rock in the last video right there? If not, you should go check it out. But quick overview. So that was the coal line coming in. These pipes go all the way out to some crude oil out this direction. I believe there's 2 pure nodes and 2 normal nodes, so I have 3 300 lines that come all the way over, along with some of the coal this way. Actually, sorry, the coal comes from this direction from my previous coal generators. And you can see the setup that I had here was my previous generators, and currently I am piping the excess coal over to my other coal generators. That's why my power isn't perfect. But I love the pipe work in this section. You can see here the nice little S-bends that I have going into each of the coal generators. Can't really walk on the ground in that section, but I did it more just for the aesthetics of standing outside of it. I don't really use too many walls anywhere in my base. I kind of like everything being a little bit more open. But you can see also I have a Caterium node there. And then I also have the pipes coming down into some refineries. This area needs to be heavily refined. I know I can be making a lot more items, but currently this is just the way I have it set up. And my resin isn't coming through. So normally I have resin coming through there, going into the awesome sink as well. So I'll just flush this line real quick. I know I can also do fuel generators. I believe I just got the ability to start making those, so I'll be able to start with a lot more power here soon. I don't need it just yet, so I'm not too worried, but once I get closer to that, I'll start using that. And you can see here I'm making quite a bit of points for the awesome sink, so I have quite a bit of coupons. I'm just about to unlock all of the wall attachments, that way that I can have them. And you can see here the refineries will go into this pipe, which I actually need to add a pump to. But the refineries go into that pump and then go up to more refineries to make, I believe it is petroleum coke. Which then the petroleum coke, I have a new steel foundations or steel foundry setup up top on that Caterium area that makes around 200 beams per minute and around 200 pipes per minute, maybe more. But it makes plenty of pipes and plenty of beams. So that Caterium comes in. That's the Caterium floor. You can see I have the smelters on the left, constructors on the right. They come over and get piped into my base. Currently that line is getting piped into the awesome sink because I don't need it at the moment. But then you can see here, this is the new steel kind of foundry area. The ones on the left are beams, the ones on the right are pipes. I'll let someone else figure out the math. If you want to go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section, see if you can guess exactly how many pipes and exactly how many beams I have being produced up there. This is my current assembler floor. I'm also making concrete up here, but this floor it needs to be redone. I'm basically going to be erasing most of that section But then on the other side I have copper. It worked to get some things done, but that's about it. This is a awesome little load balancer that I figured out. And that goes into my smelters. My smelters put it out the back. Then there's another load balancer right here to have the exact amount of copper ingots going into making 60 wire, 60 cable, and 60 steel sheets per minute. I know those are some low numbers, but once again, this is a smaller base. I'm not trying to do a mega base just yet. Although I have a feeling my expansion is going to be halted here soon because the moth likes to fly right over my base, which I'll show you here in a little bit. But otherwise, I do want to probably move my base once I get trains, which I should be getting here shortly. But you can see down here, this is my current storage setup. So I have 4 containers for each item coming down, getting stored down here. Most of the items I have stored on the left side, and then I just have a few off the back and a few on the left, or on the right. But you can see here, this is all of the lifts as well as the iron. So this iron area that goes through all the smelters comes along the back of the base. There's a steel section in the middle, that's my old steel section. But this goes into all the constructors here, makes rods and plates, and then goes over into my screws on this side. And I apologize if anyone can hear the dog barking in the background. I don't know what he's barking at, but I apologize. But here's a nice view of the back of the base. Most of these lifts go down into storage. A few of them coming from the second floor that go up are usually going up into the assemblers. Those are like steel pipes, steel beams, some plates, those kind of things. But it's a really nice view, a nice look. This is why I don't really use walls on my base, is because you can kind of see all that. I do, however, have this nice observation tower with walls and some glass. And then over here I have my space elevator, and you can kind of see I mirrored it off of the foundation section from the refineries. And over here, this is kind of how I set up all my miners. It's the only thing that I don't really have on a super perfect grid. Kind of just have the miners going into mergers and then into the base. Or onto a bridge. Now this view here is probably one of my favorite views of my entire base, is running through and seeing all these belts and hypertubes and pipes kind of crossing over this gap into my factory. And then this is where I was talking with the moth. The moth basically flies right over my base, which is perfect. It doesn't clip with my base or anything, and I don't know if I'm building anything on this floor yet. This might be my new assembler floor, so the moth will probably fly right over some assemblers, and I'll probably end up leaving that side empty, so that way there it doesn't clip with any of the assemblers. And you can see then it goes right over my new steel production area, with room to probably build one more floor over the back end there. Over here I have my reinforced plates, as well as my rotors on the floor below. So this one here, you can see my reinforced plates are full. That goes all the way over, piped into the base, into my central storage section, which, like I said, probably will be moving once I get trains. But I have 3 assemblers here, making around 15 reinforced plates per minute. And then on the bottom floor, I believe I make 14 rotors per minute, or 12 rotors per minute. I don't remember what the numbers are on that one. But then I also have some rebar, spiked rebar being made up here for the rebar gun, which goes into the awesome sink if it's overflowed, and some extra iron plates go into the awesome sink here, just because I didn't need to be backing up the system. I figured might as well get a few extra points out of it. Down here you can see this is all the rotors that are being made. This took a lot of math. I actually ended up drawing this entire section, both the bottom floor and the upper floor, in a notebook. So that way there I could also figure out this load balancer. This load balancer takes 10 screws out of each side of 8 screw constructors. So the reason it takes 10, it combines to make 20. That actually goes up to the upper floor to be used in the iron plate, or sorry, reinforced iron plate. The rest of it gets perfectly divvied up into 100 each for the rotors. And you can kind of see my main bus line right here down the middle. That was like my first big bus line, which has a hypertube mixed in with it to what used to be my old base. So this section here is actually getting torn down, and you can actually see my new bridge there for some iron. But you can see I pipe everything kind of onto one main bridge and then back. And you can see here, this is my newest bridge. I'm still in the process of making it. This one kind of goes all the way down. I'll end up actually picking up those 2 iron nodes right there, but all of this iron ends up getting used in my new steel production. Then over here I'm picking up the iron. There's the 4 nodes there, and then you can see the other line here is a coal node, which actually gets used in my coal generators. So you can see my coal actually comes quite a far distance to get piped over there. And actually one of these lines of coal actually gets used for my previous steel production. There's an awesome bridge that I actually built over here as well. I actually spent the time in most of these places to make it look aesthetically pleasing. I don't want to really just end up in a random place of the map and have pieces just floating in midair. I kind of like to have everything aesthetically look nice. That way there, as the trains end up start rolling, I can have the trains rolling by these factories and it still look aesthetically pleasing. So you can see there the coal splits off from the iron in that line and the copper in that line, and then goes around the base up to the coal generators. So to kind of give you a broad overview, I can show you kind of how far my base is spread out at the moment. So like I said earlier, we have that one coal miner right over there, and that kind of comes down this way, goes around my entire base, or actually through my base at this point because now I've built that upper floor, goes through that over to the coal generators and is done. Then I also have my area which I call Dino Sludge, which is the crude oil. Comes from over there, goes into the refineries, and then I also have the other section of coal all the way out into the little forested area there. Kind of goes up through the rocks right there and back, as I showed earlier in the video. So that goes to those 4 miners right over there, and you can see there's another little bridge down that way. So this is the base that I currently have, and it's pretty big. Like I said, not the biggest, but when you actually look at the full-size footprint of the entire area that it takes up a pretty good area. Also, I'm trying to figure out on Satisfactory, an awesome tool that helps with some of the calculations for Satisfactory. I'm trying to figure out how to load my map in there to show an overview of the world map with my factory on it. I think it would look really cool. So once I get that on, I'll be able to show a video of that. But I can just fit my whole factory in this view. So it's really kind of where I'm going to leave you guys today. I can let you see a few more things in the next video as we start building them. Probably going to start building trains here soon. Probably start building that item storage here soon. So with that, this will be Kaluno Gaming signing off. You guys have a good day.